Natalie, I have a staff meeting at 9 o'clock.
You'll make it. Let's see now. That's a waffle for Ross, fried eggs for Martin, scrambled eggs for Patty, and French toast for Kathy.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Doctor.
What are you doing at this moment?
Fixing breakfast. What are you doing?
Are you fixing breakfast or performing one of 100 other household tasks? Then I wholeheartedly approve.
Thank you, Doctor.
With one reservation. Only if your family appreciates what you're doing.
You bet they do.
One of the major problems of the housewife in modern civilization is that she is taken for granted. She becomes no more than a useful piece of furniture around the house, and she is treated as such.
Boy, have you got a lot to learn. Here we are. That's French toast for Kathy.
Thank you.
Scrambled eggs for Patty. Fried eggs for Martin. And a waffle for Ross.
Richard and Craig are picking us up at 6 o'clock. We'll have dinner on the way. I'll get home early. I want to do my hair. Will you do mine for me while you're at it, Kath? All right. You're a giant. Remind me to do something nice for you sometime, Cuz.
Is everything all right? Why don't we go to a movie tonight?
No, the CEA conference is starting today. I'm afraid I won't be home for dinner.
Patty?
And Kathy and I won't be home either, Mom. We're double dating with a couple of tycoons.
Ross?
I have a patrol meeting tonight.
I see.
Therefore, in conclusion, let me say, housewives, you may be in bigger trouble than you think. The big question is, are mothers people?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Natalie? Natalie?
Yes, dear.
What'd you do with my briefcase?
Well, I didn't do anything with it.
Well, somebody did. I left it right there in the hall closet.
Did you look in there?
Of course I looked in there.
There it is, right where you left it.
Well, there's so much junk in there, it's a wonder anybody can find anything.
Well, I'm going to clean it out again just as soon as I find the time. You know, most of the things in there are yours, darling, and a lot of it could go into the basement.
Oh, that's a good idea. But not the golf clubs.
All right.
I'd say we'd better keep the skis up here, too.
All right. You never know when it'll snow in the closet.
What do you know? My old medicine ball.
That could go in the basement.
No, I'm going to start working out a little. Hey, there's my old fishing pole.
That could certainly go.
Let's leave it.
You planning to fish through the ice?
Well, as soon as I get a little time, I think I'd like to practice a little dry fly casting. Now, this could certainly go somewhere else.
Oh, you're right.
You know, if my desk were that cluttered, we'd never get the newspaper out.
Darling.
Yeah?
Oh, never mind.
All set. Papa, will you give us a lift?
Oh, sure. Say, Natalie, there's some buttons missing from my blue shirt and my striped shirt. Would you sew them on when you get a chance?
All right.
I ripped my corduroys. Maybe you can patch it.
I'll take a look at them.
Mom, if Roger calls, will you tell him that we're meeting at Susie's? We're going to stop for a bite at Binky's if he wants to join us. Aunt Natalie, if Judy calls, will you tell her that I won't be able to help her with her math tonight, but that I'll call tomorrow night at 8 o'clock?
If Roger calls, you're meeting at Susie's. He can join you at Binky's. You can't work with Judy tonight. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. The buttons on your blue shirt and striped shirt, and a ribbon in your corduroy pants.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Joan? Natalie, are you doing anything? Can you come over here right now? I guess I've always just taken it for granted that my family appreciates me. But this morning, when I heard that psychologist talking about what a big problem this is to American housewives, I realized it was true. They don't appreciate me.
Welcome to the club, honey.
I clean for them, cook for them, sew on buttons, nurse their colds, and I love doing it. Don't misunderstand me.
Oh, I read you loud and clear. You just want a little appreciation.
Exactly. You know, all they have to do is just say thank you once in a while. A little pat on the head to old dog Trey. Joan, do you know how many breakfasts I've cooked for them? 6,559.
How do you happen to know that?
I figured it out. And you know how many dishes I've washed?
I'd rather not hear.
You think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill?
No. I think you're making a molehill out of a mountain. I think it's time for the mothers of the world to unite.
I hate to say it about my own family, but I have to face facts. They're selfish. They don't care what happens to me.
You know, what we really need is a union.
How do I go about joining?
First, we have to plan our attack.
You make it sound like some kind of battle.
That's exactly what it is. All-out war.
Joan, this is my family. I love them. They love me.
Of course, but every once in a while you have to give them a little nudge to remind them that you're around, that's all.
What am I supposed to do? Go around saying, appreciate me, everybody?
There are techniques.
I'm afraid I don't know them.
Mother will teach you. Step 1. Tomorrow morning, you are going to be so sick.
What?
Tomorrow morning, you are going to stay in bed. We'll start them off with a little sympathy. It never fails.
Honey, is there anything I can bring you before I go to work?
No, thank you.
How you feeling?
Oh, fine, thank you. Just a little weak.
You're probably coming down with a cold.
Or pneumonia.
I doubt it. You'll be on your feet before you know it. You're too restless to spend more than a few hours in bed. By the way, while you're resting, we should look over the speech I'm going to make at the Overseas Club tonight. See if you think there's anything I should add to it. And I'd appreciate it if you would see that my dinner jacket is pressed. And by the way, please call Gilroy's and tell him to make sure my shirt is here by 5 o'clock, okay?
Hi, Mom. How are you feeling? Oh, Mom, I'm supposed to meet Richard back here after school, but I'll be tied up with a dance committee meeting. When he comes, will you tell him to go over to Alice's and I'll meet him over there? Oh, and you might call Alice and tell her that Richard is bringing the records. I'd call him myself, but I won't have time. How are you feeling, Aunt Natalie?
Terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're probably coming down with a cold. I'm expecting a COD package. Could you please pay the delivery man when he comes? There's a dress in it. If you're feeling well enough, I would appreciate it if you'd hang it up for me. I'd like to wear it tonight.
How you feeling, Mom?
Marvelous.
That's great. Mom, one of the wings of my model jet got broken. I told Mr. Francioso you'd bring it in. If he can't fix it, buy a model kit 7A. Don't get 7B, 7A. And he'll give you a trade-in on the model kit on my dresser. If it's not on my dresser, it's in one of my drawers.
Can't you do it yourself after school?
I'm not coming home after school. We're going out to play ball, and I need the plane to enter in a contest Saturday.
Perhaps your mother doesn't feel up to it, Ross.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll do it while I'm resting. Look over your speech, have dinner jacket pressed, tell Gilroy's to have your shirt here by 5 o'clock. Tell Richard to meet you at Alice's. Tell Alice Richard will be there with the records. Pay postman for your address, hang it up. Take your model jet to Mr. Franciosa. If he can't fix it, buy model 7A, not 7B. He will give trade-in for a model set on your dresser. And if I have any time left over while I'm convalescing, why don't I just build another wing onto the house?
Didn't work?
Didn't work. It was one of the busiest days of my life. Oh, they have no feeling for me at all. I'm Gimme Lane. Gimme this and gimme that.
All right, we're going to have to go on to step 2.
Could you skip to step 3? I'm getting mad.
We're not ready yet for step 3. Now, we're going to have to start work on Martin. You know, when a husband finds the lines in a newspaper more interesting than his wife's lines, it's time to do something about it.
Oh, well, Martin has to read the newspapers. It's his business.
So are you. When was the last time you wallowed in a beauty parlor?
I was at the hairdresser's 2 weeks ago.
I said wallowed. I mean, facial, massage, shampoo set, manicure, pedicure, wallow. I see. And it wouldn't do your morale any harm to be sporting a new French dress with some heady perfume to match.
Well, that'd be very expensive.
That's his problem.
Uncle Martin, what's the 7-letter word for ill-tempered?
Testy. No, that's 5.
I think it begins with a G.
Grumpy? No, that's only 6.
Watch this go.
Ross, will you be careful? This is a small airport.
I'm gonna join the Air Force when I grow up.
Oh, I'll bet they can't wait.
I wasn't talking to you.
Hey, can't the two of you behave in a more civilized manner toward one another?
I apologize.
I consider the source, and I accept it.
Well, you're a gracious monster. Neither of you means a word of it. You should have heard Ross leap to your defense when Pinky Miller said his sister was prettier than you. Is that true?
You should see his sister.
Good evening.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. What time are we eating?
Is that all you think about, eating?
Well, I only asked because we have an editorial meeting tonight and I have to get down to the paper. Dinner isn't going to be ready soon. I'll have a sandwich out.
Of course, I don't want you to eat out. I'll fix something right away.
I have a date too, Mom. I'm going bowling. I'm afraid I don't have much time either, Aunt Natalie. I promised Nancy I'd help her with her homework.
Well, it looks like we all have a problem. You know, Natalie, you really ought to organize your time better.
What?
Well, if businessmen ran their businesses as haphazardly as the average home is run, nothing would ever get done.
I'm sorry. Let me get out of this rag and I'll go fix dinner.
What's with the mother figure?
I don't know.
Gee, she's been acting awfully touchy lately. She reminds me of an old snapping turtle I used to have.
Don't suppose she's sick, do you, Uncle Martin? I've never seen her act like this before.
Maybe she's just getting old. You know how old people are.
No, how are we?
Grouchy.
That's it.
That's what?
It's a 7-letter word. Grouchy.
Auntie? No, thank you. Joan, are you sure we're doing the right thing?
Certainly. Will you just leave everything to me? Step 3 always works.
What happened to steps 1 and 2?
I'm telling you, step 3 will work.
It's almost 10 o'clock. They must be worried sick.
That's the whole idea. By the time you walk in that door, they'll have the whole Brooklyn Heights police force out looking for you.
I never did anything like this before. I didn't even fix dinner for him. I feel like a criminal.
For heaven's sakes, will you stop worrying about everybody else and start worrying about yourself a little?
It's all the same thing. They are me.
So are you. And it's time they realized it.
I really must go.
All right. If you want to be an unappreciated household drudge for the rest of your life.
Pour me some more tea. I'm home.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Mom.
Check.
Hello, Aunt Natalie.
It's after 10 o'clock.
Gee, is it that late? Well, I guess you better get on up to bed, son.
Night, Mom.
I'm sorry I'm so late. Joan and I had dinner together and time just flew.
Good. Kath, you want to take over for Ross? And you're in check.
What'd you do about dinner?
No, I fixed us something.
Weren't you worried about me?
No, I figured you had dinner with Joan and the time just flew.
That's terrible.
What'd I say?
Papa, I think we have a problem. What's the matter?
I just got blasted again.
What did you do?
I said good morning.
Maybe I said it wrong. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. I wish somebody'd write a book on the care and feeding of parents. Do you know what I think the trouble is, Patty? Sure, she hates us. No, I think she's just tired. You know, you could be right, Kathy. I'm sure I am. She probably doesn't realize how hard she works around here. She's not getting any younger. Why don't we try to make things easier for her? You've solved it. We're going to reorganize things around here. And right now. You take this stuff. I was going to ask her to press it. It would have taken her at least an hour. But now I'm not going to ask her. Good for you. You're going to press it. Why me? You're young and strong. So are you. Don't worry. I'm going to do my share. I'll clean our room. I better fix his zipper, too. And I can take these things to the cleaners for her. Good. I'll do the marketing. There are some shoes to be resoled. I'll take them down for her. We're really getting things organized. Before we're through, she won't have anything to do. She still has to cook. Oh, we can solve that, too. Tomorrow morning, we'll get up half an hour earlier and fix breakfast. Oh, what about dinner tonight? Oh. Why don't we go to the delicatessen and buy some barbecued chicken and potato salad and dessert? You're really rolling, Kat. I'll spring for it with my own move. I'll set the table and make the coffee. We're in orbit. Oh, except for one little thing. Ross. Yeah. Okay, you wait on the monster from 8 till 5. I'll take over from 5 till 8. That'll keep him out of Mom's hair. Well, that should take care of everything. We're gonna make a lady of leisure out of her. Let's get to work.
Why, it's all clean.
Afternoon, Mrs. Lane.
Well, I didn't order that. I haven't even done my shopping.
Patty took care of it.
Patty?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put the meat in the freezer.
Oh, I'll do that.
She said I was to do it. She said she won't be using this tonight. She's sending home a barbecued chicken. Bye.
Well, if everybody's finished eating, I'll clear the table. I'll get the dessert. I want to add some chocolate sauce to it.
Boy, that's one of the best dinners we've had in a long time. Natalie, you haven't eaten anything.
I'm not hungry. Excuse me.
Looks like your plan isn't working very well. Not only that, but it's giving me indigestion. Boy, that chicken tastes like boiled cardboard.
I don't know what to do, Papa. Nothing we do pleases her.
At least my turtle was friendly some of the time.
Uncle Martin, have you tried asking her what's wrong?
Over and over. All she says is, oh, I'm fine, thank you. You can see icicles forming over every word. I don't know what she wants.
A vacation.
What?
Mom needs a vacation.
Well, maybe she does, but I can't get away right now, Patty.
No, all by herself, with none of us around to bug her. She could lie in the sun all day and have room service. Yeah, and she'll go swimming and fishing and boating. Maybe I'll go with her.
I think we should stick to the original plan. We'll give her a week's vacation just for her.
Yeah, maybe that'll make her smile again.
Let's go tell her the good news.
It's unbelievable, Joe. That chicken tasted like cardboard, and Martin said it was the best dinner he ever had. They wouldn't even let me in my own kitchen. You were right. They don't need me anymore. I'm in the way. I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Mom. How you feeling?
Just fine, thank you.
Natalie, we'd like to talk to you.
It's urgent.
Now, the four of us just had a family conference.
About me?
Yes, Aunt Natalie.
Go on.
What would you think about a trip to Florida?
Florida?
A real vacation.
Nothing to do but lie around in the sun and fish and swim.
And shop. Would that please you?
Yes, it sounds wonderful. Oh, I've been so silly. I thought that... It doesn't matter. Martin, can you get away? And is it all right to take the girls out of school?
We're not going.
No, we're sending you off by yourself.
You sending me away?
Yes. Won't it be lovely?
It'll be a great vacation. You can stay down there for a whole week, all by yourself.
A week? Why not 2 weeks? Or a month?
Or maybe I'll never come back.
We're in bigger trouble than I thought. What's the matter? I just came from Mom's room. Her bed is covered with travel folders. What's wrong with that? They're for around-the-world cruises. She wouldn't do that. She's taking enough suitcases for a safari. Could she be angry with us? With us? Don't be silly. We've cooked for her, we've cleaned for her. I wonder if she appreciates us. Perhaps she thinks we don't... No. What? Just a silly idea. She's a big disappointment to me. I didn't think she'd go. We all told her to go. Well, she didn't have to listen to us. You know that line from Shakespeare? There's something rotten in the state of Denmark? Hamlet. Well, there's something rotten in Brooklyn. Your average red-blooded American mother just doesn't walk out on her family. It's un-American. We're not going to let her do it. Never mind me. How could she do that to a poor little kid like you?
Yeah. Listen, maybe we could pay her to stay.
She can't walk out on us. And we're going to tell her so.
I've given them the best years of my life, and now they're through with me. They can't wait for me to get out of here. Well, they're not going to get rid of me that easily.
Where is she?
She's in her room.
Oh, we made a terrible mistake. We can't let her go.
We've got to stop her.
Right.
You're not going. We need you, Aunt Natalie.
We can't get along
It's
without
my
you,
house,
Mom.
and I am not leaving.
What did you say?
I said I'm staying here with my family.
You mean you want to stay?
Of course I do. I live here.
But you've been acting as though you hated us.
I thought you hated me. I haven't heard one kind word from any of you in years.
You're kidding.
Look, I love doing things for all of you. All I wanted was just one little thank you.
We're sorry, Mom. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies. This morning, we're going to examine the American woman's role in the household. Do you know what you are in your household?
You bet I do. Indispensable. Oh, thank you, Patty.
My pleasure. I'll help you with the dishes and then I'll
Oh,
take care-
you run along and meet Richard.
Are you sure? I don't mind doing them.
Thanks, darling. Neither do I.
You know, Mom, I guess I never really stopped to think how much you do around here. It never quits, does it?
No, it never quits, and it doesn't pay much, but the fringe benefits are great.
Thanks, Mom,
Oh, what?
for being so great. I guess we all take a lot for granted sometimes. We forget to say thank you, so. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Let's get the coffee in there before I cry into it.
Gee, these are the best waffles I've ever tasted, Mom.
The eggs are delicious.
I love the French toast. Even the milk is great.
Okay, don't overdo it.
We just wanted you to know that we appreciate you. We may not always remember to tell you, but we do.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, honey, would you check with the laundry and ask them to stop starching my collars? And there's some buttons missing again.
I promised Ted I'd lend him my atlas. Would you please tell him there's 2 maps he's looking for on the back pages, near the index?
Mom, I broke my shoelaces. And while you're out getting some, would you please tell Mr. Francioso I've changed my mind about that model kit 7A? Take it back and get C16. That's the big job.
Oh, Mom, I'm bringing Mary and Alice by for dinner. Alice doesn't eat veal, and Mary doesn't eat broccoli. Oh, and if Richard calls, would you tell him that I can't meet him at the library, but I'll see him at the mall shop at 4 o'clock?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins
I'm afraid she's out.
Out? What a pity. Opportunity knocked and she missed it.
May I help you? I'm Mrs. Lane's niece.
Well, my name is Hanson. I am vice president of the Magic Midget Vacuum Cleaner Company, and I was bringing her a once-in-a-lifetime offer. Well, this is her unlucky day.
Oh, just a moment, Mr. Hanson. Do come in. Aunt Natalie did mention she needed a vacuum cleaner.
She did?
Yes, just before she went out shopping this morning. She has a birthday coming up, and I'd like to buy her a vacuum cleaner as a present.
Well, now, this is your aunt's lucky day.
It's very attractive. Is it a good one? Forgive me for asking, but I don't know much about vacuum cleaners.
I'm glad you asked that question. Shows you're alert. Now, that's good. No one will ever take advantage of you. Now, the Magic Midget is one of the marvels of our age. May I give you a little demonstration?
Would you?
Yes. May I impose upon you, please? There. There you are.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry. I'm just giving the Magic Midget his breakfast. Now, you watch this. From now on, your aunt will be able to spend her mornings in bed, afternoons at the beauty parlor, and her evenings at the opera. By this marvelous contrivance will free her from the drudgery of her household chores.
I'll buy it. If it isn't too expensive.
It's only $29.50.
Isn't that very inexpensive?
Now, I'm glad you asked me that question. Oh, I can see it's going to be a pleasure doing business with you. Now, the Magic Midget sells far below any other brand on the market today. Now, how can we afford to practically give this machine away? Low overhead.
I'll go get the money.
Just a moment. You haven't seen everything yet. Now, you won't want to give your aunt this beautiful Magic Midget without this marvelous, handy, this beautiful drape cleaning attachment.
That is beautiful.
Yes, it is. And this one here, now this will clean your walls. And this one here, this will clean the couches under the sofa with that. And this one will clean your dog. I've got one here that will clean your clothes. I got another one here that'll clean inside your dresser drawer.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves the rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hi, Gus. What's the matter with you? You look like you're about to rain. Oh, Patty, I've done the most awful thing. You? You couldn't do anything awful. Everybody's always holding up to me as an example. What did you do? As you would say, I goofed. Salesman came to the door this morning selling vacuum cleaners. I wanted to buy one for your mother, and he said it was only $29.50. So I bought it. What's the matter with that? Sounds like a great buy. With all the attachments and the sales tax, it came to $145. Patty, I don't have $145. You know something? What? You goofed. Thanks. Don't worry, we'll get you out of it. We'll make him take it back. Where is it? He's delivering it tomorrow. I bought so much that he has to send it in a truck. I already gave him a $25 deposit. He's not taking anything back, Patty. He's a great salesman. So am I. You have to know how to handle people like that. Do you really think you could get him to cancel the order and give me my money back? It's a cinch. You just relax. The old master is at work. Kathy, I have to handle this myself. You wait upstairs. Are you sure? Have I ever steered you wrong? Yes.
Good morning, young lady. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, Mr.
Hanson.
Hanson, of course.
Well, I believe this is everything. Congratulations. You're going to make your aunt a very happy woman.
Mr. Hanson, I've been thinking it over, and I've decided that I'm going to give my aunt a birthday card instead. I don't want this.
But you wanted all this.
I've changed my mind.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little too late for that.
Mr. Hanson, I want my deposit back, and if I don't get it, I'm going to call...
Not give it to you? Now, what kind of a company do you think you're doing business with?
You mean she can have... I can have my money back?
Well, of course. Our company deals only with satisfied customers.
Well, if I can have my money back, then I'm a satisfied customer.
But I must admit, this neighborhood certainly had me fooled.
I don't understand. It's a good neighborhood.
Oh, that's just what I mean. You know, sometimes we move into homes that we can't afford. Get in over our heads. You know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I am sure your family is just having a temporary financial setback.
A temporary financial... Mr. Hanson, I'll have you know that my family can afford anything the Joneses can afford. More. My father is very successful. He happens to be...
I'm sorry. I couldn't sell all this stuff to you now. My conscience wouldn't allow it. Now, if things are really bad, there are some welfare agencies that...
Just a minute, Mr. Hanson. Let me tell you something. So, you don't have to come up with $145 anymore. Good. It's $165. I bought another $20 worth of accessories. You what? I had to do it, Kathy. The honor of the family was at stake. Either that or he's the greatest salesman I've ever met. Patty, we have to find him and make him take this back. Forget it. I signed the order and wrote in it that I was over 18 so it would be legal. I wanted to make sure he couldn't take it back. I trusted you. The trick is not to panic. Do you know what we're going to do? Panic. We're going to go out and sell that stuff. Who'd want to buy it? I don't know. There must be some other suckers around someplace. Our friend Hanson makes a living at it. He's a salesman. So am I. If he can sell it, I can sell it. Come on. Patty, we can't just go out and sell vacuum cleaners. We're not. We're going out and sell one vacuum cleaner. And 10,000 attachments. No one's going to buy it from you. They're not buying it from me. They're buying it from the executive sales manager of the Worldwide Vacuum Cleaner Company. Patty, you need a license to sell things. Oh, who's gonna know? This isn't our life's work. We're just doing it this once, and then we're going straight.
Can I help you?
No, sir. We're here to help you. As a matter of fact, this is your lucky day, Mr. Rogers. We have here a little vacuum cleaner
Vacuum cleaner?
Patty, let's go.
Well, I was going downtown to buy one Saturday.
Well, we're going to save you that trip, Mr. Rogers.
Come in. Is it a good vacuum cleaner?
I'm glad you asked me that question. This is the greatest electronic marvel of the age. We'll give you a demonstration. Kathy? How about that?
Well, that's great. How much is it?
$29.50. With the attachments, it's $165.
Isn't that a lot?
Mr. Rogers. Do you know what you're getting here? This isn't just a vacuum cleaner. It's a way of life. It'll clean your rugs, your drapes, take the lint off your suit. It'll clean your dog, climbs ceilings, goes around corners,
I'll take it.
waxes furniture, fluff. What'd you say?
I said I'd buy it. It's my wife's birthday. She's been wanting one. Well, excuse me. I got the money.
Didn't I tell you it was easy? I can't believe it. Maybe that'll teach you to have a little more confidence in me. Or maybe he's the greatest salesman of our time.
Here's the money. You
you'll just give me a receipt, why, where are you going?
We just remembered another appointment.
What about the vacuum cleaner?
Oh, you wouldn't want it. We've been having an awful lot of trouble at the factory with it. We'll come back when we have the bugs ironed out. Bye! Patty, we'd better stop this. We're going to get into trouble. Oh, we can't quit now. We have to get rid of this stuff. Who do you think you're going to sell it to? Whose name is on the bill? Mr. J. Appleton. Bingo. Ring it.
What do you want?
We want you, Mrs. Appleton. May we? Oh, you're just moving in here. It's lucky for you that we came along. I'm the executive sales manager of the Worldwide Vacuum Company. This is my assistant. And this is the Magic Midget. It can do anything.
I don't need a vacuum cleaner, and I'm busy.
Oh, I can see that. Do you know how long it would take you to clean this apartment without a vacuum cleaner? Hours. But with the Magic Midget, this place could be cleaned up in no time. Kathy? Here.
Miss! What are you doing?
I'm glad you asked me that question. There's no need to worry, Mrs. Appleton. The Magic Midget will pick this up in a jiffy.
Stop that!
Oh. This is really going to open your eyes. A little more dirt here.
You clean that right up.
That's exactly what I intend to do, Mrs. Appleton. Where's the outlet?
There's no electricity.
Look at that. I'm a nervous wreck. Let's go home, please. Let's try it one more time, hmm? Smile. Yes? May I help you? You don't want to buy a vacuum cleaner, do you?
No, I'm afraid not, but thank you so much for asking me.
That's perfectly all right, Mrs. Smythe. We didn't mean to disturb you. We just thought that the Magic Midget was so marvelous, 'twould ease your burdens.
Why, you're from England.
How did you guess?
My dear child, you can't fool an old Britisher like me. Well, don't stand in the drafty hallway. Do come in.
Oh, what part of England are you from? The White Cliffs of Brooklyn Heights.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to hear a civilized accent again. You know, I've been living here for 20 years, and I still can't understand a word the Americans say.
It's a beastly bore, isn't it?
Well, as I said to Ronnie, that's my son, we should have kept it as a colony. The shopping is marvelous.
Quite. And things come right to your door. It's frightfully convenient.
May I offer you a spot of tea?
No, thank you. We must go. Patricia? Yes, we've had our tea, thank you. We rarely must be pushing on, you know.
Oh, pity.
Duty.
Quite. Stop. If I'm not being too inquisitive, what is it that you're selling?
Oh, this? It's nothing, really.
Oh, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Yes, it's quite good, actually.
Well, how much is it?
We paid $165 for it. But we'll sell it to you for $155.
Well, if it will assist you girls, I shall purchase it.
Do you mean it?
Of course I mean it. It's the least I can do for a fellow countryman.
Yippee!
What?
That is to say, hello.
Shall we say $140?
To see such joy around. You want to let us in on it?
We're just happy, Uncle Martin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Where have you two been all day? I haven't seen you.
We just had to get rid of something.
Hey, looks like my editorial is finally bringing results.
What do you mean, dear?
Remember the editorial I wrote last week on the phony door-to-door salesmen who cheat housewives? Well, the police are beginning to crack down on them. Seems to be a new teenage gang operating. Policemen reported that 2 teenage girls tried to sell them a vacuum cleaner. A woman reported that 2 teenage girls came in and ruined her apartment and then fled. According to a third report, the girls seemed to be 2 English girls.
More coffee?
No, thanks. It's good dinner, though. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to do some work. You know, I think I'm going to crack down on this teenage gang. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Fagin behind them, supplying them with materials and putting up the money.
It could be just 2 innocent teenagers.
I doubt that. Anyway, the police will catch up with them.
Aren't you going to finish your cake, Kathy?
No, thank you. I'm not very hungry. Excuse me. Neither am I. Excuse me.
Boy, I wish I had a tape recorder in their room.
Forget it.
What are we going to do?
We're going to go out and buy the vacuum cleaner back.
Then we'll be stuck with it again.
It's better than having our pictures plastered in every post office. When we get it back, we'll throw ourselves on the mercy of the father figure.
Should I help you with the dishes, Mom?
Well, that's very sweet of you, Ross.
Or should I go to the patrol meeting? We're studying knots, and I'm bringing the rope.
The dishes.
Mom, without a rope...
Oh, I'm only teasing. Of course, you go on to the patrol meeting.
But it was a touching offer, son.
I'll help with the dishes tomorrow night, Mom.
You run along.
And don't get home late.
I won't. Bye.
Say, did Patty and Kathy go out?
Yes.
They must have been in a big hurry. It's funny, I had the feeling that Patty wanted to talk to me tonight.
About what?
I don't know. But she had that, "Hi, Papa, were you in a good mood" look on her face. I have a feeling that she's painted herself into another corner.
I don't think it's anything serious.
Yeah, you're probably right. You know, we're pretty lucky. I mean, they're both such nice girls. Just think they could have turned out like those teenage racketeers who are victimizing the neighborhood.
Thank heavens we don't have anything like that to worry about.
Would you like me to help you with the dishes?
Yes, I would. Thank you.
Or would you like me to write my editorial so it makes the next edition? I'll help you with the dishes.
Why don't you go in and buy it back from her? You speak her language. Oh, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Do you know how many post offices there are in this country?
So, you've come back to the scene of your crime.
Yes, ma'am. May we come in?
I was shocked when I read of you two victimizing the city. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
We are, Mrs. Smythe. That's why we're here. We want to buy back the vacuum cleaner.
Buy it back?
Yes, ma'am. You see, we didn't have any right to sell it to you.
Well, now I don't know. I've become very attached to that vacuum cleaner.
Here's $140 back.
Oh, I couldn't part with it for that.
What do you mean?
Well, it's such a pretty little machine. I couldn't part with it for under $150.
Mrs. Appleton.
In here.
Got the electricity back on.
Not for you, it isn't. First you get a broom and dustpan, and then you start using soap and water.
Oh.
You know, Kathy, he was right.
Who was right?
The man who first said crime doesn't pay. I can feel muscles I never knew I had before. Even my aches have aches.
I'm sorry, Patty. All this was my fault. I should never have dragged you into it.
You didn't drag me. I jumped. I have this kooky knack for taking a little bit of trouble and turning it into a disaster.
What are we going to do?
Well, there's always the Foreign Legion.
Perhaps I could borrow some money from Ross.
Old Flintheart? Forget it. No.
What we need is something daring. Patty. Imaginative. Patty.
Bold.
Patty. Yeah? No. That's how we got in all this trouble. Being bold.
Well, do you have any better ideas?
Yes. We're going to see your father.
You don't have many ideas, do you? At least it's honest. I'm going to see him. Are you coming with me? You know I am. I can't let you go into the lion's den alone. Your father's very understanding, Patty. Oh, that's what I'm afraid of. He'll understand the whole thing. I hope he's in a good mood. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, we could write a letter and ask him. How about this? Papa, you want to laugh? We want it. Let's play it by ear. Come on. Papa, are you in a good mood?
Try me. Well, how much do you need?
We don't need money. We need mercy. Uncle Martin, you know that editorial you're going to write?
Yeah.
Well, if it's all the same to you, could you write about something else?
I don't understand. What's my editorial got to do with you?
We happen to be that teenage English gang the police have been looking for.
You're what?
We didn't plan it. It just turned out that way. You see, I bought a vacuum cleaner for Aunt Natalie. And I'm afraid I got in over my head.
And you went out and sold it to get your money back?
And when you told us about your editorial, we went out and bought it back again.
Yeah. And each time we managed to lose a little money on the deal.
And now you have the vacuum cleaner back.
Yeah. And 1,000 attachments.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you expect me to do?
Well, when the man comes for the money tomorrow, could you explain to him that Kathy and I are minors? I signed a paper saying I was over 18, but it isn't true, so he can't hold us to the deal. Papa, please get Kathy's deposit back.
Is the vacuum cleaner any good?
It's great. If there's electricity.
Well, then I'm not going to ask him to take it back.
Not?
No, because there's a good lesson in this for both of you.
Papa, we've learned it.
Now, the fact that you signed a piece of paper saying you were over 18 does not make the contract binding. It's still up to the seller not to do business with a minor.
You mean all this time we had nothing to worry about?
No, you had something very important to worry about. You made a deal with someone. You might not have been legally bound, but you were morally bound. If he sold you a good product at a fair price, he had every right to expect you to go through with the deal.
I see what you mean.
I'm glad you do, because we're going to keep the vacuum cleaner. Make a nice birthday present for your mother.
Well, Papa, we'll never be able to pay for it.
Well, I'll underwrite the venture, and you can pay me back in easy installments.
Thank you, Uncle Martin. Papa, you're the greatest.
Just do me one favor.
Anything.
Don't answer the door anymore.
Hurry up, she'll be home any minute. I've never seen so much junk before in my life. How clean can a house get? It's better than using soap and water.
Now remember, when she gets here, try to look natural, and we'll surprise her with all of the attachments at once.
Right. Here she comes. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mom. Hello, Aunt Natalie.
Hi, hon.
Hello.
Why don't you sit down and relax?
All right, just let me get out of my coat.
Let's bring it on when she comes back.
Everybody pick up an attachment.
I'd have been home earlier, but I stopped to do some shopping. Isn't it beautiful? It's called a magic midget. And wait till you see all the attachments.
Oh, no.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins. They walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are...
What's it last night, Kath?
Oh, it was wonderful. They played a Brahms piano concerto.
Couldn't you get Patty to go with you to a concert one of these evenings?
I've tried. I don't think she's very interested.
Let's face it, she's a peasant.
Well, there's nothing wrong with bowling.
Oh, of course not, only I'd like her to be well-rounded.
I don't think you have to worry about Patty, Uncle Martin.
I agree. She's a perfectly normal teenager.
Hi, Troops.
Hello, darling. How was the bowling?
Checky.
Checky?
Yeah. There was this artsy Kraft Candy who thought he was chairman of the board. He started to gleep this ice cube, but he was a real pebble.
All your mother asked was how the bowling was.
Morty.
She's a perfectly normal teenager.
What did I say?
Who knows?
Translation. Patty said that a boy who thought he was important tried to make a date with a girl, but didn't get anywhere. That's what I said. You know, it's a good thing I have a broad back.
And a fat head. Listen, you little
Children! Truce. Ross, it's almost your bedtime.
All right.
Hey, look at this. How do you rate as a teenager? I took that test. It was fun. Yeah? What'd you score? An 85. Is that all? I'll show you how to get 100. Charm consists of appearance, attitude, and good manners. Answer the following questions honestly. Are you always careful to use proper English? Are you neat? How do you treat your brothers and sisters? Do you make a good impression on strangers? This is a cinch. And you only got an 85?
You know, I enjoy taking those silly tests.
Oh, some of them aren't so silly. They're based on sound psychological principles.
This one was a breeze. The answer on page 87. Papa.
Hmm?
Did you say these tests make sense?
Yeah. Why?
I just flunked teenage.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves her rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Why are you lying here in the dark, Patty? What's the matter? Nothing. You're not still upset because you failed that test, are you? Those tests don't mean anything. Oh, yes, they do. Those psychologists are no dopes. You're a failure. I bet I'm the only teenager in America who flunked that test. There's not a thing in the world wrong with you. I have no charm. I'm sloppy, immature, selfish, and uncooperative. Big fat zero. Patty. I laughed at your 85. Do you know what I got? A 10. Subhuman. Patty, you're being silly. I'm a nothing. Well, if you really feel this way about yourself, why don't you do something about it? Then I do. I'm hopeless. Work on the things that bother you. If there's something in your character you don't like, change it. Oh, it'd take me years. I wouldn't be a teenager anymore. I'm afraid to get married and have children, if they turn out to be like me. I don't think you have to worry about that. If you don't stop the self-pity, I don't think you'll ever be able to get another date. Thank you, Kathy. For what? For being honest with me. I give up. Kathy? Yes? Would you turn out the light, please?
Hello, Richard.
Hi, Kath.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thanks. Where's Patty? We're going skating.
Oh, good. She should get out. Patty? Patty? Try to cheer her up, will you, Richard?
Cheer Patty up? She's always cheering me up. Well, half a minute, Patty Lane, we always call her. She sick or something?
No. She just failed Eagle. Did you call me? You have a visitor. Hello, Richard Harrison.
Hello, Patty Lane. Are you ready?
Ready?
We had a date to go skating, remember?
You've been very patient with me all these years. I wish to thank you.
What's the matter with her? What's wrong?
Oh, Richard, I'm a loser. You wouldn't want to go out with me. Why don't you go call Sue Ellen?
You're asking me to call Sue Ellen? You're my girl.
You don't know the real me. Even I was fooled. No, I'm not going out with anyone anymore, Richard. Ever.
I've seen you in some kooky moves, but this one's really far out.
You see? I've even poisoned you with my slang. The English language is a thing of beauty. And I've taught you to mangle it.
Patty, why don't I come back when you're feeling better?
Oh, no, please take her with you.
No, thanks. I'm already beginning to feel depressed. I'll call you when you're back to your old self. Do something with her, will you? Oh, boy.
Poor Richard. He's been so patient. I don't deserve him. You won't have to worry about it if you keep this up. Sue Ellen will have him. I used to be such a happy, ignorant kid. I wish I'd never seen that test. So does Brooklyn Heights. I do. You do what? I do. I do. I found the answer. I'm gonna be all right. Mrs. Selby School for Models. Do you want more charm? Do you want more self-confidence? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to think tall? She's done it again.
Chichi pour tes mots, chichi popo. Bonsoir, bonsoir. You were saying?
I hope you can help me, Mrs. Selby.
Well, I'm sure we can. There's an enormous demand for teenage models.
Well, I wasn't exactly interested in modeling. I just want to join the human race again.
Well, our courses are designed to instill self-confidence.
That's for me. I want to think tall again.
We'll teach you your ABCs here. Attitude, brightness, charm. You'll think tall.
That's for me.
Our course is $60 a semester.
That's a little taller than I had in mind.
Well, you can take time to pay for it. And, of course, if we get you a modeling job, well, then we'll just deduct your tuition from that.
Hey, that's the bidder. When do we start hacking?
Immediately. First of all, I think we'll start you on a language course.
Yeah? What language?
English. Once more, please.
The chill in Brazil is mostly on the hill.
No, let's try that again. Very clearly now. I want elegance. Patty, may we hear you alone, please?
The chill in Brazil is mostly on the hill.
Well, that's a little better. Remember, a lady speaks...
What?
Softly. Oh. The world judges you in how you move, talk, and look. Now then, Patty, may we see you walk, please?
You mean walk? Nothing special. I just walk. Nothing to it. I've been doing it all my life.
I'm afraid you've been doing it wrong all of your life.
It's been getting me there.
When you walk, you keep your shoulders erect, your head high, place one foot directly in front of the other, and above all...
Being tall?
That's right. Now, would you try it again, please? Well, that's a little better, but couldn't you try to be more graceful? Glide like this.
Your legs are longer than mine.
Yes. I want you to practice at home. Try walking around with some books on your head. If they keep falling off, then you're not gliding. You may be seated, please.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's enough for today. Now, girls, remember, speak softly and clearly. Move gracefully and glidingly, and don't forget the Mona Lisa smile.
Mrs. Selby?
Yes?
I wasn't here for the Mona Lisa smile bit.
Well, it's the smile that gives a woman mystery and makes her irresistible to men. I'm sure you've seen pictures of the painting.
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Let me see that Mona Lisa smile. Class dismissed.
I don't see how walking around like a Zulu is going to help you. Oh, you'd be surprised. Mrs. Selby works on the whole woman. Walking. Talking. Hello out there. I'm beginning to feel taller already. I wonder. Your head is coming to a point. Oh, I'll remember that, cousin, when I'm strong enough to defend myself. Patty, you know I didn't mean it like that. It's just that you're taking all this so seriously. Oh, sure, it's only my life. Oh, you can afford to be smug. You're an 85. I'm only a 10. I see. Now, if you'll excuse me, I shall return to work.
2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
Girls, I have some wonderful news for you. This is Mr. Pell, the famous commercial photographer. Patty, please sit down. Mr. Pell is here to select a few photographic models for the new advertising campaign he's doing.
Thank you, Mrs. Selby. I'll be able to use 3 models this time, but I may be calling on you again next week. Now, let me see. You, miss. And you, please. And you.
Would you pass the stew, please?
Oh, do you like it?
No, I'm just hungry.
What? The soap?
The salt.
Does your throat hurt?
No, of course not.
lady, speak softly.
I'll bet they don't get much salt.
Patty thinks she's going to be a model.
Why don't you mind your own business?
You are my business. I'm dedicating the rest of my life to making you miserable.
That may not be very long, brother dear.
All right, children. This is a dinner table, not a battlefield. You really interested in being a model?
No. I'm going to this school for personal reasons.
Do you remember Sue Dudash?
Sure. That chubby little kid who used to live next door?
She's not a chubby little kid anymore. I ran into her this morning at the market. She's one of New York's top models now.
Sue Dudash?
Only she's changed her name. Now she's called Dee Dee Dudash.
I've seen her pictures. She does bathing suit ads. She must be the one I've seen in soap ads and automobile ads and ads. Her face must be on every billboard in the country. Imagine being that famous for just sitting around posing.
I'll bet she's rich, too. How much do models make?
I don't know.
Top models can make around $100 an hour.
$100 an... No, Patty. Will you quit that?
What did she do?
She's reading my mind again.
And so remember, girls, harmony is the key note. A serene mind produces a serene body. Mr. Pell, how nice to see you.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, that's perfectly all right. Girls, you all remember Mr. Pell? He's here to select some more models.
Yes. I'll need 3 girls today for one of our most important clients. Now, let me see. You, miss. And, you, please. One more. You. What did you say?
Yippee. And then he pointed to me and said, you. It was a finger of fate.
Are you really going to be on the billboards, Patty?
Yes, Richard. Wherever you look, there'll be me. That sounds terribly exciting.
Is this a definite offer, Patty?
Yes, and it isn't just for one ad. Mr. Pell says he wants me to star in a whole series of them. I'm going to be a one-woman campaign.
I think it's marvelous.
My face will belong to the ages.
It already looks it.
Patty, you're going to be kind of busy from now on, aren't you?
I'll never be too busy for any of my old friends, Richard.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
I suppose it will be embarrassing to go to theaters and restaurants and be recognized by everyone. But then again, I guess I'll learn to live with it. That's the price one must pay for fame.
I think I'd wait until I was famous before I started paying the price.
Talking about that, how much are they going to pay you?
Well, I start at $10 an hour, but I'll work my way up, don't worry.
You mean they're going to pay you $10 an hour to just sit there?
To sit there and be me.
Can you get me a job?
I'll find out if they have any horror pictures coming up.
Well, it does seem like an awfully easy way to make money. Just sit there and have someone take your picture.
Other people's jobs always look easy to an outsider. I'll bet it's not quite the gravy train it sounds.
Well, as a working model, Papo, I think that I know a little more about it than you do. All one has to do is to sit there and look glamorous.
Smile.
Wait a minute!
Now smile. Now smile. Hold it quiet, everybody. Smile.
1, 2, 3.
that you, Patty?
Yes, Mom.
Hi, honey.
Hi. It's 9 o'clock and you've already made $30.
Yeah.
How did it go?
Okay. You know how it is.
No, we don't. But we're really interested. It must be quite a feeling to just sit around for 3 hours and collect $30.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, it is. I can't wait for the billboards to come out.
Will you be in magazines, too?
I'll be everywhere. Wherever you look, you'll see me. I think that's wonderful, Patty. I was very wrong about this. I thought you were going to get into trouble.
Yeah. Looks like this little adventure turned out pretty well, huh?
If you want to sign some autographs, I've already got 6 customers for them.
I don't think so.
We can get a quarter apiece. That's 13 cents for me and 12 for you.
No.
13 cents for you and 12 for me?
Nothing for me. You haven't got a celebrity for a sister. You've got a laughing stock.
What are you talking about?
Jinx Lane. The joke of Madison Avenue. Didn't you pose for the pictures, Patty? Sure. When I wasn't too busy dodging. Have you ever had a cream pie thrown in your face? Or seltzer squirted at you?
Is that what they did to you?
I'm not a model. I'm a target.
Oh, darling.
I can never show my face in school again.
Of course you can.
Not after those pictures come out. You don't know how silly I looked.
And I don't care. Look at it this way, Patty. Those advertising people wanted to illustrate a point. And they chose you because you were more suitable for their advertisements than anyone else. You were hired to do a job, and you did it.
Do you think so?
Of course. Well, it didn't turn out quite the way you hoped, but, well, things have a way of taking funny bounces in life when you least expect it.
I guess I was too interested in the glamour part of it.
Well, then you've learned something.
I sure have. I'm not glamorous. I'm nobody. I flunked teenage. Do you know what I got in that test? 10. I'm a nothing. Big fat 0. Oh, here you are. Yes, here we are.
Why'd you run away from us?
Wasn't running. Just walking fast. Didn't you hear us call you as you passed the malt shop? I guess I didn't feel much like a malt. Because of this. You saw them.
Sure. Everybody's talking about them.
Yeah, I'll bet they are.
I think it's great.
You do? So do I. Look. I think it's a very effective campaign. I guess it is. Patty, you've made a great contribution to the American educational system. 'Cause I love you.
Yeah, Patty, you're quite a girl. What are you doing tonight?
Rich, do you know what I'm gonna let you do? I'm gonna let you buy me a malt.
It's a deal.
Coming, Cat? Just as soon as I finish this test. It looks very interesting. Let's see, maybe I can help you. Oh, no. Let's go.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But there comes
They walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are...
We will never resort to this kind of journalism. All right.
What kind of journalism?
New York Query.
Lion tamer marries elephant boy?
Who reads trash like this?
I don't know.
Papa, fasten your seatbelt. You'll never guess what happened in school today.
Let's see now. You passed geometry.
Oh, hello, Kathy. Hello, Aunt Natalie. Uncle Martin. Patty received quite an honor today. You are looking at the new editor-in-chief of the Brooklyn Heights High Bugle. In person.
Patty, that's wonderful.
2 newspapermen in the family now.
Like father, like daughter.
Like, wow. And my first official act was to give Kathy a job. Patty's appointed me to write the editorials.
I guess we ought to celebrate.
Papa, I need some advice from you.
No, I know we ought to celebrate.
I'll go buy some Magnum Multits.
See, I want to make the Bugle a paper that everybody in school will read.
Uh-huh. Well, first of all, make sure the news you print is fresh and accurate. You find out everything that's happening in school, socially and in the classes. Second, make it interesting. Hit your readers at a level they'll really understand.
In our school, that means we'll have to print it in crayon.
If I were you, I'd model school newspaper after a successful city paper.
You mean like that one? The New York Query?
I should hope not. Honey, this is a scandal sheet. You can't copy a paper like that. No, I'd suggest that you use a paper like mine, say the Chronicle. Now, we don't appeal to everybody, but we do have 828,000 readers.
So if we pattern the school paper after the Chronicle, we're bound to have a popular paper.
I would think so. Well, I've got to go wash up.
Papa,
Yeah?
how many people read the Query?
The Query has a circulation of 5.5 million readers every day.
5.5 million?
Yeah?
And only 828,000 read your paper?
That's right, Patty. But numbers do not necessarily mean quality. You just remember that.
Kathy, when you look like that, I'm afraid to ask. But what? Well, I think I understand what Papa means. But when the entire circulation of the Bugle is 38 kids, I think we'll go for numbers.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Come on, Richard, I'm going to be late.
So what? I thought we had this date for this afternoon. Now all of a sudden you've got this meeting.
I can't help it. The principal called a meeting of the newspaper staff. I'm the editor. I have to be there.
I don't know why you think it's such a big deal being editor of the paper. Nobody in school reads it. It's Dullsville.
Well, it's important to me. Don't forget, my father's a newspaper editor. Oh, hi, Mary. I have to show him that I'm as good a newspaper man as he is. Patty, where have you been? You're late. The principal's waiting for us. All right, let's go in.
Oh, what about me?
Richard, I'm going to be busy fulfilling my family heritage, following in my father's footsteps. I'm afraid I won't have much time to see you anymore, unless you're newsworthy.
Hmm?
Well, if you win a medal or make a hit record or something.
We had a date.
Sorry, Richard. My career comes first. Kathy? Bye.
And though the Brooklyn Heights High Bugle has yet to gain student acceptance,
I know that it will be a success in the capable hands of its new editor, Patty Lane.
Mr. Brewster, as our principal, you have the thanks of the entire staff of the Bugle. Right, staff? Right.
Right.
And I know that my staff here will help me get the paper into orbit. They're a go-getting bunch of news hawks that any paper in the country would be proud of.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Brewster. We won't let you down. Staff, here's a copy of the New York Query. Headline: Cowboy star sues horse for breach of contract. Now, here's a copy of the Bugle. Right?
Right.
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 Headline: Biology class field trip discovers new vein of Devonian strata under football stadium. Query: 5.5 million readers. Bugle: 38 readers. That means that 5,499,962 people are more interested in cowboys than Devonian strata. Right?
Right.
Wrong. Patty, I think... Sorry, Kath, you're overruled. From now on, the Bugle is going to be run like the Query. Now, Alice, you cover the cafeteria beat. You're in there all the time anyhow. Now, if you hear anything that sounds like news, any gossip or anything, any rumors, write it down. George, George! You've got to be a human dynamo. Go from one end of the school to the other. Interview all the teachers, cover all the classes.
Anything you say, Patty.
On second thought, you stay here and ink the Mimeo machine. Kathy, I want sock-em editorials. Something like, do the girls of the student body have the right to wear culottes? Philip?
Yes, I'm the poetry editor.
Not anymore, you're not. You just got a haircut. You're our new crime reporter.
Crime? But there's no crime around here.
Create some. Come on now, staff. Let's go out there and show them that when it comes to reporting, we're the most.
Right.
Where have you been? You're late for rehearsal.
I had to park my bike.
Junior theater rehearsal. Positively no admittance. That can't mean me. Freedom of the press and all that.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
All right, so it's a private rehearsal. Some freedom of the press.
Thank you very much. I'm a reporter. You got a hot story on the cafeteria? No. You got a hot pastrami on rye?
When's your next rumble?
I beg your pardon.
I'm from the Bugle. I'm looking for stories about romance, scandal, slander. Anybody got anything for me?
I've got just the kind of story you're looking for.
Richard, I love you. What is it?
One of the girls in my class tossed aside the man she loved for a career.
That's great. What's her name?
Patty Lane.
Oh, Richard, that's no story. You know his paper men don't write scandals about themselves.
So you see, Mr. Brewster, we call it Advice to the Students from the Principal and feature it every week in the paper.
I'd be delighted, Kathy. Because of the interest in the space program, I would like to see more of our students taking an interest in higher mathematics. And you may quote me.
Yes, sir.
May I say, Kathy, that I admire your spirit? I can see that the Bugle is going to be a paper that we can be very proud of.
I got him in the palm of my hand. He can't move.
Sure, but how are you going to keep a thing like this quiet?
I'll take care of him.
If he croaks in front of the teacher, you're in trouble.
Boy, my story. Okay, fellas. Either tell it to me or tell it to the fudge. Not one
one good story. Not one.
I couldn't find any crime anywhere, and I looked all over.
I know. It's depressing. What kind of a school is this?
I even went to the school library. You know, there's not one book overdue.
Well, don't feel too bad. None of us got any place. I got a toothache. I got a story. Let's see it. Advice to the students from the principal. Oh, get this. Because of the growing importance of space engineering, students should take a more active interest in higher mathematics. That's a real gas, Cat. I'm sorry, Patty. It was the best I could do. Look at the query. Mayor loses $1 million. They get a nice big scandal. Me? I get advice from the principal. Wait a minute. This isn't really a scandal. The mayor didn't actually lose $1 million. The city council cut his budget. It seems to me that all the query does is to take a dull story and give it misleading headlines. That's how they sell newspapers. And I think it's shameful. Gives me an idea. Patty, first thing I'm going to do is change this headline. Patty, advice to the students from the principal. Give it a little grammar. That should do it. Big Daddy speaks. Look at that. Our first edition.
I like that Big Daddy Speaks. Makes pitch for numbers racket. Hey, that's class.
This one's a real blast. Big drop in crime rate.
That sounds better than if we actually had any crime.
I think we've gone too far.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Rich.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Oh, I'm sorry, Rich. You caught me right in the middle of an editorial conference. Why does the Junior Theater have a closed set? Good?
Great.
Because they're secretly rehearsing a scorching new drama about teenage delinquents who defy their parents and elope.
Okay, big editor. I'm going out and find myself a new girlfriend.
Oh, Richard, I didn't mean to... Richard? He'll come back. I hope. Patty, I'm worried. I think that before we show this to the principal, we should get an expert's opinion on it. I'd be glad to give you one. It's great. Suppose Mr. Brewster didn't like the paper. He might be expelled or something. Just what I've been saying. We have to find an expert.
You're the daughter of the managing editor of the Chronicle, and you want advice from me, the editor of the Query?
That's right. You see, sir, we modeled our class paper after the Query.
You copied my paper instead of your father's. Wait till I see Martin at the press club.
We'd like to know your opinion of the paper, Mr. Rogers.
May I see it?
Yeah. We thought we'd come to an expert.
Well, there's a mistake right here at the beginning.
There is?
In one column, you say there's a big drop in the crime rate, and in another column, you say that the principal makes a pitch for the numbers racket. Now, when you set up a front, a big drop in the crime rate.
We have no crime rate. That is to speak of.
The numbers racket. Did your principal really say this? Is all this true?
Well, in a way. You see, what he meant was...
What about this play they're keeping under cover? The juvenile delinquents who run away and elope. Is the school doing that play?
Yeah. It's in rehearsal now if you want to see it. Except it's a closed set.
I understand. Well, girls, thanks for bringing me the paper.
Is it all right?
The paper? Oh, it's fine. Just fine. You've done a good job.
I told you.
Well, thanks for coming in. Miss Johnson will show you the way out.
Thank you.
Say hello to your father for me. Pete, I've got a story for the late edition. Wait till you see it. Wait till the Chronicle sees it. And Pete, you'll never guess what a liberal education they're getting in Brooklyn nowadays.
Mr. Martin, what's a 5-letter word for disastrous confusion? I'll get it.
P-A-T-T-Y.
I forgive you.
That puts you one up on me.
Mr. Brewster.
Patty, who is it?
It's Big Daddy. Then the paper goes on to say, what kind of principle is it that allows the school drama club to put on a play about rebellious juveniles who run off and get married against their parents' wishes?
That was Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and... Go on, Mr. Brewster.
Well, it goes on to say that the students seem to be more interested in crime than education. Oh, yes. It says that Patty is your daughter, that you are the managing editor of the Chronicle.
When I goof, it's a beaut. I'm beginning to understand what you meant by numbers and quality, Papa.
Go on, Mr. Brewster.
Mr. Lane, I have already received a call from the superintendent of schools telling me to cooperate with any investigation the query might make.
Oh, boy.
And a threatening call from some patriotic group who intimated that they are putting on a Brewster Tea Party, during which they will dump me in the New York Harbor.
Oh, boy. We're so sorry, Mr. Brewster.
How could this have happened, Patty?
I didn't mean to start all this trouble, Papa. I just wanted to put out an exciting newspaper.
Young lady, never. I repeat, never go near that newspaper office again.
Yes, sir. It's not fair, Patty. What happened wasn't all your fault. Some of the blame belongs to Mr. Rogers in the New York Query. He knew all the time those news items were innocent. Oh, who thought everybody would pay so much attention to our creepy old class paper? If only we had put out a paper with stories written in a way no one could misunderstand. You mean with English subtitles? I suppose you could say that. Kathy, I've got an idea. Not again, Patty. Just suppose we could print one more edition of the Bugle, explaining that it was the Query that made all the fuss. What good would that do? Well, then we'd hope that the other papers in town would print our second edition like the Query printed the first. Then everybody put the blame where it belongs. Mr. Rogers and his newspaper. That would be wonderful, Patty. But I'm afraid it's impossible. Why? Because Mr. Brewster told you can't print another newspaper. He warned you against going to the newspaper office again. Yeah, but just... Patty, if you keep this up, we're definitely going to be expelled. It's absolutely out of the question. Don't you agree? I guess so. But let's sleep on it anyway.
Oh, no.
What is it?
It's from Patty. Dear Popo, stop the presses. When you get this letter, I will be down at the Bugle putting out the last edition. I'd appreciate it if you'd come down there as soon as you get this note. That's 30.
That's 30. What does that mean?
That's newspaper talk for this is the end. You better get dressed.
Patty, I'm scared. Will you stop worrying? We've got a paper to print, and there's no one else in the building but us. Are you certain? It's too early for anybody to be here. I guarantee it.
Kathy? Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Mr. Brewster.
I think you know Mr. Rogers.
Yes, it's nice to see you again.
You're here bright and early looking for some more news?
Not exactly.
Where's Patty?
Patty?
Morning, Mr. Brewster.
Morning, Philip. Well, I admire your ambition, but I'm curious to know why you students are here an hour before the opening bell.
We promised Patty we'd help her get out the Bugle.
You what? You know anything about this?
A little, sir.
The Bugle has been banned.
For printing the truth.
For distorting it.
Kathy, is everything all right?
It will be, Aunt Natalie.
Morning, Mr. Brewster. Walter. Hello, Martin. You came to get in on the kill, huh?
I came because my daughter left me a note asking me to be here.
It was headed, "Stop the presses." Where is Patty?
She's in there.
In there? Patty
Patty was forbidden to go near the newspaper office again. I'm sorry, Mr. Lane, but I cannot have our students flouting the rules.
Come on in, Kath. I'm almost through. You know, Mr. Brewster was right. I wasn't putting out a newspaper. I was putting out a circus.
Patty, you know what hurts the most, Kath?
I let Popo down. He's the greatest newspaper editor in the business. I think a little of that would have rubbed off on me, wouldn't you? He said, don't worry about where your readers are. Just write the truth and they'll find you. I was going to be the best editor this newspaper ever had. I guess I'm the worst. Well, here's my final edition of the Bugle. I printed my apology to the whole school in a box on the front page. Do you think it's big enough? Welcome to the closing of the Bugle. I'm sorry, Mr. Brewster. I know you told me not to come near the office again. I just wanted to make up for some of the trouble I caused. May I see that, Patty? Everyone who has respect for himself must tell the truth as he knows it. The editor of a newspaper has this obligation to a greater degree than others. It doesn't matter whether he has 1 million readers or 38 readers. To distort the truth, to take away its meaning, to tarnish its shining brightness, is a step backward into darkness. Because I have not lived up to this concept, I have justifiably been removed by our principal as your editor. Signed, Patty Lane.
I can't accept that.
I know, Mr. Brewster. I shouldn't have printed it without your permission.
What I meant was that I can't accept that last sentence.
You mean I'm still editor?
If they throw you off of the paper, you can come down and edit mine.
Oh, darling.
Congratulations, Chief. I don't know what to say. What time is it? It's 8:30. We go to press in an hour. I have to find a new story for the front page. You see if you can dig up any items. I still have half a column to fill. Well, make sure they're legitimate. Don't worry, I will. Oh. I think I have an item for you. Good, what? I don't think you're going to like this one, Patty. Don't be silly. This is the newspaper business. Let the chips fall where they may. I think they just fell on Sally Ann.
Hi, Printers, Inc.
Hello, Patty, Kathy, Sally Ann. Mr. Harrison? I'm sorry, Patty. Don't be. That's the newspaper game. Take tomorrow's lead. Student editor jilted again. I love you, Patty.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins. alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
Whomever? That's what I said. Exams make me nervous. They shouldn't, Patty. Not if you know the subject. Guess that's why they make me nervous. Kathy, I have the spookiest feeling. As if I'm being stalked. We both are. By exam week. Let's keep studying. Kathy, I could swear there's someone in the room with us. Yes, Patty. Big Brother is watching. You can invent the most exotic reasons to avoid studying. I guess you're right. It's just battle fatigue. What is it now? Big Brother isn't watching Kathy, but Little Brother is. Ross, what were you doing down there?
Me? I was just passing by.
Come clean. What were you up to?
Nothing, sis. I was just trying to take your picture.
Why were you being so sneaky?
I want an unposed snapshot. You look so pretty that way.
I think that's sweet. I smell a small mouse. What were you going to do with the picture after you got it?
Show the kids at school what a beautiful sister I have.
Last week you said I was a creepy dragon.
No, I didn't. I said you were a creepy, scaly dragon. But that was last week, sis. You've changed a lot. Please let me snap you, Patty.
Forget it. Oh, what harm can it do? I wish I could figure out what your angle is. I'm sure he hasn't any. Okay. One picture. Thanks. Say cheese. Cheese.
Thanks a million, sis. You're not a creepy, scaly dragon anymore.
Funny kid. I guess that deep down he really has some feeling for me. And I mean deep down. I'm sure he does. Yes, sir? It's possible my brother the Fiend is finally joining the human race. Did you get it?
Yep, mission accomplished. Boy, women sure are suckers for flattery.
Did you tell her what it's for?
Nah, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. Boy, imagine Patty being worth a TV set.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves the rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
they walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Ross, if Patty wins the contest, how will you keep her from finding out?
Easy. No one in the family reads the New York Metropolitan.
But if Patty wins, won't they write her a letter?
I'll intercept it.
Even if you do, won't they send a TV set to Patty?
Not if I call them and tell them I'm picking it up for her.
Boy, you've thought of everything, haven't you?
Patty just better win, that's all.
Why is it so important, Russ?
Promise you won't tell anybody? I'm giving this set to my folks as an anniversary present.
Wow! You're the last of the big-time spenders.
It's a special anniversary, the 20th. This time it's going to be the gift that counts.
Hey, it says here the contestant should include a brief biography of herself.
Biography?
Family background, hobbies, special abilities, and musical talents.
And it's my luck to be stuck with a no-talent sister. I'll have to make something up.
Make it up?
Sure. Who's going to know? Let's see. It's got to be exciting. I was born in Paris, France. My father was an ace pilot shot down over Normandy. After escaping from prison camp, Dad met my mother, a baroness serving as a spy in the French.
There, that part's finally finished. It's beautiful, Patty. Your mother will love it.
I hope so. But I better get started on Papo's. His and hers.
I wish I could knit like that.
So I can knit. And you can sing an aria and order dinner in almost every country in Europe.
Well, a continental childhood has its drawbacks. I was 15 before I saw my first banana split. Ross, how many times do I have to tell you? Knock before you come in.
Okay.
Come in.
Can I borrow an encyclopedia? Yeah, it's downstairs. And remember to put it back where you got it.
Don't worry. What's that?
Patty's anniversary gift. Matched skiing sweaters.
Not bad.
Oh, not bad, he says. And what are you giving them?
I hadn't thought about it.
Ross, it's their 20th anniversary.
Time flies, doesn't it?
Ross, you are giving your parents a present.
I guess so.
Another clay ashtray, I suppose?
I always say it isn't the gift, it's the thought that counts.
How about that tatty-tot?
Perhaps Ross doesn't have any money to spend, Patty.
You mean he doesn't have any feeling?
Now, Patty.
Never mind now, Patty. I'd get my parents a special anniversary gift if I had to beg, borrow, or steal.
Evening, darling.
Oh, hello, dear. What kept you so late? I was getting worried.
Anniversary plans. Nat, I managed to book us into the same cabin at Lake George that we spent our honeymoon in.
And they say men aren't sentimental.
Well, it's a rather special occasion. Been the best 20 years of my life.
It's been a wonderful marriage.
I'm glad you asked me.
So am I.
Hey, where are the kids?
Well, Patty's upstairs knitting us an anniversary surprise. Matched skiing sweaters.
Good. And I presume our son is fashioning another one of his famous clay ashtrays.
Probably.
I know it's the thought that counts, but why does he always think of ashtrays?
As a matter of fact, he hasn't said a word about our anniversary. Usually by this time, he comes hinting around to make sure of the exact date.
You don't suppose he's forgotten?
Oh, dear, I hope not.
Well, he'd feel terrible if it turned out he had, especially this year.
Maybe we should drop a hint.
Good idea. Give him a chance to dig up some clay. Ross!
Yes, Dad?
Ross, would you come down here for a minute?
Sure.
Now make it casual.
Oh, don't worry. I'm an old hand at this.
Hi, Dad.
Evening, son. Did I interrupt your homework?
Yeah, thanks.
What's up? Ross, I was wondering if you'd seen my road maps anywhere. I'm looking for the one that shows the route to Lake George.
They should be up here. Yep, here they are, right where they always are.
Thanks, son. Well, might as well start mapping out the route, huh?
I guess so.
Your mother and I are planning to go up to Lake George, you know.
Have a good time.
For a weekend. The 14th.
Sounds great.
The 14th is a special day. Do you happen to know what day that is, Ross?
14. It's a Friday.
It's a very special Friday this year, though.
You're telling me.
You mean you knew?
Sure. It's Yogi Berra's birthday.
Yogi Berra? I did everything but hit him over the head.
One good thing. No clay ashtrays this year.
Oh, you must be expecting something real special, Ross.
I sure am.
What is it, a love letter, or did you enter the Irish sweepstakes?
No, you see, Ross sent the snapshot of... Ouch!
I'm sorry, Ross. There's nothing for you today. Just a couple of bills and a letter for your sister.
My sister? It's from the New York Metropolitan. Here, hold these.
What's it say?
Dear Miss Lane, congratulations. You have been picked as a finalist in our Beautiful Teens contest.
Yippee! Wow, you did it!
Yeah, but listen to this. The winning contestant will be selected on the basis of both appearance and talent. We request that you appear in our audition hall Saturday the 8th at 1 p.m. to compete against the other finalists by demonstrating the special abilities mentioned in your biography.
What does all that mean, Ross?
It means we're dead.
Why? Can't you ask Patty to go to the audition?
Nick, it's obvious you're an only child. She'd never do it.
After all, she'll help get a swell present for your folks.
Nick, you've got it. That's the angle. After all, they're Patty's folks, too.
How can she say no?
She can't. Blood's thicker than water. And when the chips are down and Patty knows her kid brother's in a spot, you know what she'll say? She'll say, Blake off. But gee, I've already picked you for the finals. All you have to do is go down there, smile, and pick up the TV set. What do you say?
No. Twist that around.
Is that your final word?
By no means. I haven't started to say what a depraved, deceitful, wicked little monster I think you are. Ross only wanted to surprise your mother and father with a nice present, Patty. Oh, so did I, by eating my fingers to the bone on this sweater.
Gee, it looks beautiful.
Out.
But
out. G-E-T. Out. Beautiful teens contest. Too bad they're not picking the juvenile delinquent of the year. Patty, I don't say Ross should have done this, but at least he did it for a good cause. When I think of how he snaked me into posing, I want to show the kids at school what a beautiful sister I have. He must believe that. He entered you in the contest. What could he do? I'm the only sister he's got. It's very important for Ross to give your parents something special this year. And you're the only one who can help him do it. But he had no right to enter me. All he wants you to do is go down and see the judges. That's not so much to ask, is it? I knew he had an angle. He's a pretty smart little monster. Then you'll do it? I guess so. It would be nice for him to give the TV set to the folks. Good girl. I'll go break the news to Mighty Mouse. I just realized something. What? I could be Miss Teen.
I don't care what they say. Blood is thinner than water.
I can't understand you. Why won't Patty help you get a TV set for you folks?
Oh, she got mad because I entered her in the contest without telling her.
She's got a point.
Yeah, on the top of her head. Hi, Patty.
Ross? It's pretty pitiful. Forget the ashtray. I'll help you get the TV set.
You will? Did I tell you she was the greatest sister in the whole world?
I heard. Blood is thinner than water. It's all right. Now, exactly what does old Pointy Head have to do?
Just drop down there Saturday and have them look at you. Once they see how pretty you are, we just pick up the TV set and leave. You get a big cup, too.
I don't know whether you're the world's greatest optimist or I'm the world's greatest idiot. But let's try it. Ross, why didn't you tell her that she has to sing opera and dance and speak foreign
Because if I
languages?
told her, then she'd never go down there.
What happens when they ask her for a sample?
You know your problem, Nick? You're a worrier. You're fireless. Come on.
Excuse me. Sir, my name is Patty Lane. I'm here from...
Lane? Take dressing room 3. We'll call you.
let's get to the dressing room.
How do I look? Just fine, Patty.
Yeah, especially considering you have this terrible cold.
I don't have a cold.
Well, if you did have, and somebody asked you to sing or dance, it'd be a good excuse not to, wouldn't it?
What are you talking about?
Miss Patty Lane, on stage, please.
You're on, Patty. Good luck.
Yeah, remember your cold.
Ross, if there's something you haven't told me, you better tell me now.
Miss Patty Lane, on stage, please.
Well? Is there?
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks. Ross, you haven't done it again, have you?
I sure hope not.
Miss Patty Lane?
Yes, sir.
Well, we've all been looking forward to meeting you.
Oh, thank you.
It isn't often you run across so much talent in one person.
Oh, I'm just an ordinary teenage girl.
Your modesty is refreshing.
Oh, a lot to be modest about.
Well, with your background, it's understandable. How's your father?
Papa? He's fine.
Good, good. Does he still fly?
He flew to Pittsburgh last month.
I only wish he could have been here today with your mother, the Baroness.
My mother, the Baroness?
Oh, well, I imagine she doesn't use her title in this country.
No.
Well, what are you going to sing for us?
Me? Sing?
I gather from your biography you have quite a remarkable repertoire. Would you like to start off with an American song?
Okay. Do you know, Tell Me Mama, key of, E? Tell me, Mama, what to do if a boy makes eyes at you. Tell me, Mama, what to say when he looks at me that way. Should I let him hold my hand? Tell him that I think he's grand. Tell me, Mama, tell me, Mama, tell me what to do. I don't know what I should do, 'cause I've been taught by the golden rule. If he wants to be my steady boy, should I go and play it cool? Tell me, Mama, if it's nice. Do you know I need your advice? Tell me, Mama, it's okay if he wants to see me every day. Should I let him know I care? Do you think I should beware? Tell me, Mama, tell me, Mama, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do.
Excellent, Patty, excellent.
Thank you. Well, bye.
Oh, could we hear something operatic now?
Operatic?
Yes, in your biography you mentioned you also sing arias.
Oh, arias. I need a drink of water. All right, what did you tell them about me?
That you could sing a little. I had to make you sound glamorous.
Well, I'm not, and I can't sing opera.
Well, how was I supposed to know they'd ask you? What are we going to do?
Kathy, you can sing an aria. I can, but you talked me into helping the little monster. Now you get ready, fix your hair like mine, and go out there and sing.
I'll wait outside.
Primo palpitar, dell'amor, mi ti è sempre Romeo.
Patty.
Thanks.
Well, after all that, do you still have enough energy to dance for us?
Dance?
Yes. How about showing us how well you tap dance?
But, yes, sir. As soon as I get a drink of water. Are we in? I don't know. How well do you tap dance?
Wonderful, wonderful, Patty.
It's nothing.
And now if you'll just say a few lines to us.
Sure.
In Italian, French, and Spanish.
Need another drink of water. French. C'est gentil de votre part m'avoir invité aujourd'hui. Italian. Tutti quanti otto stato molto gracioso a me. E in conclusione, Spanish. Quisiera decir solo esto. Espero ganar. Gracias. Hey, listen to that applause. I'm really talented.
Well, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We really fooled them.
They never suspected a thing. They'll deliver the TV set tomorrow and you can give it to the folks.
Hey, they're gonna ask where I got it.
We'll think of something. The important thing is for them not to find out how we got it.
Oh, hello, children. I didn't hear you come in.
Where'd you get that?
You stole it.
You what?
That's right, Aunt Natalie.
It wasn't their fault. I was the mastermind.
Maybe you better begin at the beginning.
It all started about 20 years ago when you and Mom got married. And then Kathy said arrivederci, and they gave her the cup. And tomorrow they're delivering the TV set. They said Patty had enough talent to be two people.
And you did all this just to buy us an anniversary present?
It isn't any anniversary, Mom. It's your 20th. You and Dad have been so great to us. I couldn't see myself sticking you with another of those rotten clay ashtrays.
We love those rotten clay ashtrays, son.
I'm sorry, Papa. I really goofed.
By accepting that cup, you cheated the real winner out of it.
I know. But it isn't too late. I'm going to go down there and give them their cup back. I'll go with you.
Me too. I want to see their faces.
Maybe they'll give the TV set to the girl who won second prize.
Yeah, she was loaded with talent.
And there was only one of her.
Yeah.
I know it's not your fault, Cuz. But sometimes I think life would be a lot easier if there was only one of me. But a lot less fun. Let's go.
Take care of yourself. And please, don't give Mrs. Gordon a hard time.
We won't.
We'll see you Monday.
Goodbye, Kathy. Thanks again. The gloves are lovely.
Thanks for the sweaters, Patty. We love them. And, son, it was your finest ashtray.
Thanks. You realize it was a last-minute job.
Yeah, we realize. Well, goodbye, all.
Goodbye, darling.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
We'll call tonight.
Bye. You know, I don't care if they are my parents. They're the end.
Yeah. Patty, can you play the tuba?
No. Why?
I'll bet you could if you tried.
Ross?
Well, it's just that there's this contest for girl tuba players, and I was thinking...
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are
good looking, interested in athletics, poetry, and space travel. Write Lancelot, box 385. Boy, he sounds great.
What would you expect him to say? He's short, fat, and stupid?
If I ever see that in an ad, I'll know who it is.
I'm not fat.
I guess that makes you short and stupid.
Hold it. This is not a battlefield.
I think I'll drop him a little line.
Do you think that's a wise idea, Patty?
To have a pen pal? Sure.
But you don't know anything about him.
Let's leave it up to old 2 feet on the ground. Don't you think it's a good idea, Kathy? No, I don't. Why don't you mind your own business? The first letter or two might not do any harm, Patty. But things like this have a way of becoming involved.
I wouldn't mind becoming involved with a dreamboat like that.
Imagine. There that poor boy is. Lonely and disillusioned. And good-looking. And good-looking.
Patty, that description may be a complete fiction. You don't know one single fact about this boy.
I have a feeling about him.
So have I, and I'm against this.
Papa, who was Lancelot?
He was a knight.
What kind of knight?
A good knight.
Good night.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
You.
Well, who are you expecting?
I thought it might be the mailman.
I've seen the mailman. You're better off with me. What would you like to do today?
Go jousting?
Jousting? What made you say that?
I don't know. Why don't you have an apple?
This isn't a good season for apples.
Richard, haven't you ever fancied yourself as a knight in shining armor?
Sure, I guess every boy does. Let's go bowling.
Okay.
Well, what's the matter?
Nothing. Only it seems all our lives we've gone bowling every Saturday. We're in a rut.
Well, what would you like to do?
Oh, go bowling, I guess. I'll go change.
Where'd I go wrong?
You sound like the answer to all my dreams, Guinevere. Guinevere? That's my code name. It is obvious from your letter that you are a warm, sensitive human being. A rare, free spirit.
Oh, boy, what did you write to him?
I just revealed the real me. In a world of strangers, it is such joy to find a kindred soul. Another being who understands and cares. Please let me hear from you soon. Always, your Lancelot.
Wow. What does he look like?
Tall, good-looking, athletic, according to his publicity. Patty hasn't actually seen him yet. Anyone who can write like this is an honest man. You can feel his sensitivity coming right through the paper.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Richard.
I guess I'd better be running along. Me too. Promised Mother I'd be home early. Bye.
I'll go with you. I'll see you at home.
I thought we were going to meet at the library. I waited for you there.
Stop nagging.
Nagging? I made a simple statement.
And why do you always wear those sloppy sweaters?
Well, what do you want me to wear to the mall chop? Tails?
And can't you comb your hair?
I don't know what's the matter with you, Patty. You've been acting like we're married.
Married? When I get married, it's going to be to someone who's sensitive and gentle and understanding.
That's what I'm looking for, too.
Richard, I'm going to give you some advice. You better shape up.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I want something more out of life than milkshakes.
That girl's gonna lose me if she's not careful. My darling Guinevere.
If but one day were left to me, I would spend that day with thee. At but an hour before I died, I would spend it at your side. And if in minutes my span was through, I'd beg to share that time with you. It's beautiful. Lancelot has talent. Yes, so are you going to meet him? Oh, I don't know. Compared to him, I'm such a clod.
Oh, there's Richard. He's becoming a real faucet. Drip, drip, drip.
I think Richard is very nice.
Oh, he used to be.
But he's changed. Has he? Or have you?
I guess I'm outgrowing him. Girls mature faster than boys.
I let him in.
Hi, Kath.
Hello, Richard.
Is her ladyship in?
Patty's in there.
Boy, she sure has been acting like a snapdragon lately. What's with her?
I can't say. But there's an old adage you might think about.
What's that?
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Like, hi there.
Hello, Richard.
Do you mind?
Is that all you ever do? Eat?
Doesn't everybody?
Oh, sure. But there are other things in life.
Like what?
Like poetry. Don't you ever think about poetry?
What made you ask that?
I don't know.
I know lots of poems. The boy stood on the burning deck, eating peanuts by the peck. The deck grew hotter. His feet got toasted, but he kept on eating. He liked them roasted.
That's what I thought.
What's the matter, Patty? Everything I do is wrong lately.
I've been thinking, Richard. Maybe we've been seeing too much of each other. I think we should stop dating. Now, don't go getting your feelings hurt. One day you'll thank me for this.
I'll thank you now.
What?
You haven't been so much fun to be with lately. All you do is criticize. Why do you wear that old sweater? Why don't you comb your hair? Why are you eating an apple?
Just trying to be helpful.
I can get that kind of help from my enemies. If I want to be nagged, I can always go home to my parents. Well, guess this is goodbye.
I guess it is.
I don't know what happened to us.
I'm just looking for something more in life.
We all are, I guess. Well, Patty, I hope you find it.
I think I already have.
You mean there's some other guy?
In a way.
Or maybe I have some other girl.
I hope so, Richard. Good luck.
Thanks. Good luck to you.
Say, where's Richard been? I haven't seen him around here lately. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just curious.
Richard won't be coming around anymore, Papa.
Did you have a quarrel?
No. We just decided not to see each other anymore.
Doesn't sound like a quarrel, it sounds like a war. Are you, seeing someone else?
Not exactly.
Well, it's none of my business. I certainly don't want to pry. Who are you seeing?
Just a boy.
What's his name?
Lancelot.
Do you mean that handsome, lonely, sensitive boy who was looking for a pen pal?
Oh, brother.
Are you telling us that you've given up Richard for a boy you've never seen?
Oh, I don't have to see him. You should read his letters.
Patty, there is an old adage. A boyfriend at the door is worth 2 pen pals on paper.
That doesn't apply to Lancelot, Papa. Would you like to hear part of his last letter?
I certainly would.
I already read it.
Why, you little...
Ross, that's snooping.
She left it out in the open.
Where out in the open?
At the bottom of her bureau drawer. Tell him the bit about the Oasis.
Oasis? Where does he live, in Arabia?
He lives in New York. His heart belongs to the world.
Oh. Go on.
And now that I know you, dear Guinevere, I have found my oasis. My thoughts turn to you, and I am at peace.
Who's Guinevere?
Well, that's my code name.
He sounds like quite a boy.
Have you, exchanged pictures or anything?
No. We decided that looks are but superficial facades.
You did. Aren't you planning to meet?
Someday, maybe. Why?
Because I think you should. Tell you, Patty, I really don't like the idea of your building up fantasies like this. Now, if this boy is as great as you think he is, you should find it out.
If he's not?
Well, I think you should find that out, too.
Patty, you haven't said one word in 10 minutes. Is something wrong? What is it? Doesn't Lancelot want to write anymore?
Oh, it's worse than that. He wants to meet me. I mean, personally.
Oh, but that's wonderful.
Is it? What do the words terrible panic mean to you? I can't meet him.
Why not?
Because I'm nothing and he's the end. Let's face it, Cuz. I'm just another girl. There are millions of me running around. If he met me, he'd lose his faith in human nature.
Do you want to stop writing to him?
Of course not.
Then you've no choice. You've got to meet him.
No, I don't.
You can meet him. You're all the things he thinks I am. Forget it, Guinevere. You're on your own. You mean you won't help me? I am helping you. I'm sending you out to meet your dream man. Where's your courage? I'm sure Lancelot wouldn't be interested in a coward.
I guess so.
Where can I meet him? Why not here in the house?
No. It's too light.
Too light?
Yeah. I want someplace dark where he can't see me.
He's probably just as nervous about this as you are. You don't think he'll take one look at me and run? I don't think he'll take one look at you and run.
Okay. I'll make a date to meet him this Friday night.
I wonder where he is right now. I wonder what he's doing this very moment. My dear.
Isn't Patty ready yet? She's been dressing all afternoon.
She had a difficult time deciding what to wear.
Say, what if that boy doesn't show up?
He'll show he's smart.
I'm sure he'll show up.
He really sounds quite wonderful.
Where are they meeting?
At the malt shop. That proves he's smart. If he doesn't like Patty, at least he gets some malt out of the deal.
Do I look all right?
You look beautiful, Patty.
What if he doesn't like this outfit?
Let him buy you another one.
He may expect me to look older. In fact, now that I think of it, I'm sure he does. I'll be right back.
But...
Good evening, Lancelot. It's so amusing to finally meet you at last. What do you think?
He'll think you're your grandmother.
Are you sure he wants a sophisticated girl?
Now that I think of it, I'm sure he doesn't. He's very athletic. I'll be right back. Tennis, anyone? Good evening, Lancelot. I'm Guinevere. I'm certainly honored to meet you. What do you think?
Why don't you really fool him and go as yourself?
It's myself. I couldn't. Percy, do you remember what you said? It's what's inside that counts.
Honey, once you've met him, you'll feel better.
How did I ever get myself involved in this? Okay. I'll go meet him. Good luck, Patty. Gee, I wish I was prettier and smarter.
Honey, you're everything you need to be. You just remember that. And if he doesn't appreciate you the way you are, well, you come back here and we'll buy you a malt.
Thanks, Papa.
What's the book?
Sonnets from the Portuguese.
You're gonna read on your first date?
No, it's our identification. Each of us is carrying a copy.
Why don't you wear a rose in your teeth?
Bye, everybody. I love you all.
Call us as soon as you can.
Good luck, sis.
It'll be fine. I feel like I'm going to my execution.
Would anybody like to go down to the malt shop and get a soda?
No, we are all staying right here.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Mary.
Hi there.
What are you doing here?
Where? Oh, having a soda. You mind?
No, of course not.
Sorry, I can't ask you to join me. I have a date.
Oh, that's all right. I'm meeting someone, too.
How you been?
Just fine, thanks. How have you been?
Oh, great. Never better.
Good. That's very good.
Well, I'll see you.
Yeah, see ya. Hi. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Is that your book?
Yeah, it's for a test.
Oh, I see. Where's your date?
Oh, she'll be along. She's pretty crazy about me, you know.
She must be.
Well, where's your date?
I changed my mind. If you see him, tell him not to wait for me because I won't be here.
I don't know who he is. Patty!
Two-timing, double-dealing nerve of him. All the time he was going with me, he was writing to this other girl. He wasn't writing to this other girl. He was writing to you. Don't be logical.
Weren't you writing to another boy?
That's different. I'm a girl. Boy, when I think of all the things he wrote about himself. You're my oasis. Let me spend my last moments with you. I'm artistic and sensitive. He's about as sensitive as a wet noodle.
Do you think he really wrote those things?
I guess so.
I thought they were very impressive.
Impressive? Richard wrote them. Which Richard? What do you mean? Which Richard? Well, the one who comes around here in sloppy sweaters with his hair uncombed and an apple in his mouth? Or the one who's so shy and sensitive that he's afraid you might laugh at him if he wrote a poem to you? So, he's forced to write to a dream girl he's never even met.
Never thought of Richard as being poetic and sensitive.
Sometimes it's hard to say the things we feel very deeply. No one likes to be laughed at.
I hate to find myself on Richard's side, but there's more to Richard than meets the eye.
Does he know you're Guinevere?
No, and if you tell him, I'll have you beheaded. I'll get it.
Hi, excuse me for butting in. Can I see you a minute, Patty?
Sure. Come on in. I thought you had a date.
Oh, well, I canceled it. You know how it is.
Sure. I know how it is. Come on in.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
Hello, my boy. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Mr. Lane.
I haven't seen you in a long time. What have you been doing?
Ross, why don't you and I go into the kitchen and I'll fix you a sandwich?
Great. What kind?
Well, I better get in the den and work on my editorial.
I'll go upstairs and straighten up.
Bye, Richard. Let's see you around here more often.
Thanks. I really stopped by to apologize.
What for?
Oh, I don't know. Being such a slob.
Don't say that. You're sensitive and intelligent and wonderful.
Me?
Yeah. You. Richard,
Yeah?
do you take me to the malt shop?
You mean? I sure would, and I'll treat. There's something I better tell you first. What I said about canceling my date tonight wasn't exactly true. I got stood up.
Oh? Anyone I know?
No.
Was it someone you liked?
Think so. I never actually met her. She was kind of a blind date. We'd been writing to one another.
That's kid stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, she sure made a fool of me. She never even showed up.
Was she anything like me?
No. Guinevere was older than you, kind of sophisticated. And,
Guinevere?
well, that's what she called herself. She was very deep. Kind of sensitive and warm and...
You sound like you're in love with her.
I don't know. Maybe I was. A little. Now I'll never have the chance to find out.
You never know. Let's go. Lancelot.
Hi, folks.
Hello, Richard.
All right.
No more bananas? The apples are getting good. Aren't you dressed yet? I have an alley reserved for 8 o'clock.
Are we going bowling again?
Sure, what's wrong?
Is that all you ever do? Eat? You told me you were going to throw that shirt away. Why don't you ever comb your hair? I might buy you a new sweater for Christmas.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find
they laugh alike,
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your